Good morning, everyone. Myself, R. Venkatesh, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Vignans Nehru. Today, I am going to discuss about the asymmetric key ciphers in cryptography and network security. So, before going to the topic, we would like to know the fundamentals of asymmetric key ciphers. Okay, so the encryption is the process of scrambling data to make sure unintended recipients are not able to make any sense of the data. So there are two common encryption types the symmetric and asymmetric key encryption. Okay, so symmetric key is nothing but so we are using the same key for both encryption and decryption process. And the asymmetric key encryption is nothing but we are using different keys for encryption and decryption. That means we are using a separate key for encryption and we are using a separate key for decryption. Okay, so we actually believe that they are complements of each other. The advantages of one can compensate for the disadvantages of other. Okay, so the symmetric key cryptography is based on sharing of secrecy, whereas the asymmetric key cryptography is based on personal secrecy. So the basic difference between these two types of encryption is that symmetric key encryption uses one key for both encryption and decryption, and the asymmetric key encryption uses public key for encryption and private key for decryption. Okay, so here in the asymmetric key encryption we are using two keys. Okay, so one for encryption and one for decryption. Okay, so let us see so the symmetric key encryption. So the plain text is encrypted using a key, and the same key is used at the receiving end to decrypt the received ciphertext. So widely used symmetric encryption algorithms are DES, AES 128, AES 192, and AES 256. So these are some of the examples of symmetric key algorithms. That means all these algorithms are using the same key for both encryption and decryption process. So coming to the asymmetric key encryption, so this type of encryption is relatively new as compared to symmetric encryption, and is also referred to as public key cryptography. So asymmetric keys are the foundation of public key infrastructure, that is PKI. So a cryptographic scheme requiring two different keys, one to lock or encrypt the plain text and one to unlock or decrypt the ciphertext. So asymmetric key encryption is considered to be more secure than symmetric encryption. So as it is uses two keys for the process. So the public key is one of the key in the pair that can be shared with everyone, whereas the private key is another key in the pair that is kept secret. So it is called private. So what is asymmetric encryption? So encryption is the method of converting the data into a cipher format using a key. So the encrypted data can be safely shared with others. So it will be difficult to break the cipher format if the algorithm or key user is strong and properly implemented. So the receiver deciphers the data to the original format using the key used earlier to encrypt it. So the above method is followed in symmetric encryption where the ciphered data along with the key is sent to the receiver for consumption post decryption. Okay, so the challenges in this mode are manageability of a large number of participants, and the exchanging key is in a secure way. So the asymmetric encryption addresses these challenges in a robust way with a pair of keys that is public key and private key. So while the data is encrypted at the sender's end using the public key of the receiver, and the data exchanged is decrypted by the receiver using his private key. So the public key is made available to everyone. A private key that is essential to decrypt the data is retained with the owner. The next one is keys. So asymmetric key cryptography uses two separate keys. One is private and one is public. So you can see the diagram here. So the Alice wants to forward the data to Bob. Okay, so here we are using two keys. One is public and one is private. Here Alice uses the Bob's public key to encrypt the message, and that message is forwarded to Bob in a secure way. So at the receiver end, the Bob using his private key and decrypt the message and get the actual message. Okay, so here the Bob's public key is available to everyone, and the Bob's private key is kept secret. Okay, so with the help of Bob's public key, so the allies encrypt the message, and that message will be forwarded to Bob's. With the help of Bob's private key, so that message will be decrypted, and he can get the actual message in that ciphertext. So you can see the diagram here, general idea. Okay, so here the plain text will be encrypted with the help of public key. So that is available to all the users. So when I am encrypting the plain text with the public key, so that text will be converted to ciphertext, and that ciphertext will be forwarded to the receiver end in a secure channel. Okay, so the ciphertext will be decrypted with the help of private key of Bob, and finally he can get a actual plain text. So coming to the next one, plain text and ciphertext. So unlike in symmetric key cryptography, so plain text and ciphertext are treated as integers in asymmetric key cryptography. So the message must be encoded as an integer before encryption. So the integer must be decoded as message after decryption. You can see the formula for encryption and decryption here. So the ciphertext equal to function of key of public along with the plain text. So that means here with the public key we can encrypt the plain text that should be converted as ciphertext, and you can see the decryption function. So that is p equal to g of k private comma c. Okay, so here we can convert the ciphertext, that is c, with the help of private key into a message, that is plain text. Okay, so the function f is used only for encryption, and the function g is used for only decryption. Okay, so coming to the next one, that is trapdoor one-way function. So the main idea behind asymmetric key cryptography is the concept of trapdoor one-way function. So a trapdoor function is a function that is easy to compute in one direction, yet too difficult to compute in the opposite direction. That means finding its inverse. Okay, so it is difficult to find inverse of the process. Okay, so it is difficult to compute the opposite direction without special information called trapdoor. Okay, so the trapdoor function are widely used in cryptography. To the functions, a function is a rule that associates or maps one element in a set A called domain, and it is mapped to one element in set B, that is called range. So you can see the diagram here. So I'm having a domain and range. So the domain I'm having a element that is called set A, and in the range I'm having another element that is set B. Okay, by using a function, so I can make an association between these two elements. Okay, so the element in domain and the element in range, so these two will be maps with the help of a function. Okay, so f is easy to compute. In other words, a given x comma y that is equal to f of x can be easily computed. So f inverse is difficult to compute. So in other words, given y, it is computationally infeasible to calculate x equal to f inverse of y. Okay, so an invertible function is a function that associates each element in the range with exactly one element in the domain. So coming to the next one, Knapsack crypto system. So okay, coming to the definition. So we're having two k tuples, that is a and x. Okay, so the a will be defined as a1, a2, a3, a4 and so on, ak, because I'm having k tuples, and x will be defined as x1, x2, x3 and so on, xk. Okay, so the first tuple is a predefined set, and the second tuple in which x is only for 0 or 1. Okay, second tuple in which xi is only 0 or 1 defines which elements are to be dropped in the knapsack. Okay, so the sum of elements in the knapsack is given like this. Okay, is s equal to knapsack sum of a comma x, that equal to x1 a1 plus x2 a2 plus x3 a3 1 plus xk ak. So given a and x, so it is easy to calculate s. However, given s and a, so it is difficult to find s. So you can see the algorithm here. Okay, so assume that a equal to 17, 25, 46, 94, 201 and 400, and s equal to 272 are given. So how the tuple x is found using inverse knapsack. In this case, x equal to 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0. So which means that 25, 46 and 201 are in the knapsack. So consider this table. I am having 6 columns: I, ai, x, and x greater than ai and xi, and finally I have to compute the s. Normally I am having 6 values, so I can mention the 6 values in this table, and I am having the ai values here. So that is 400, 201, 94, 46 and 25 and 70. Based on these values, we have to compute the remaining values s and xi, and finally you have to compute s function. Okay, so the next one is secret communication with knapsack. Okay, so you can see the diagram here. So Alice and Bobs want to communicate, so they send his plain text x to the knapsack. So with the help of a key, that is a, so we can convert the plain text into ciphertext, so that is s. So that ciphertext will be forwarded to at the receiver end. A is available to all participants, and so in the key generation process, you have to select the b value here, and you have to find out the modulus between n and r and calculate the a value. Okay, now we are having 3 values, so b, r and n. So by using these values, you have to decrypt the ciphertext, and you can finally get a plain text. Coming to the next topic, that is RSA crypto system. So RSA algorithm is a asymmetric cryptography algorithm. So asymmetric actually means that it works on 2 different keys, that is a public key and private key. So the plain text is encrypted in blocks with each block having a binary value that is less than some number, that is n. So as the name describes, that the public key is given to everyone and the private key is kept private. So public key is one of the key in the pair that can be shared with everyone, whereas the private key is the other key in the pair is kept secret. Okay, so you can see the diagram here. So the sender wants to send a message to the receiver. So with the help of the receiver's public key, so we want to encrypt the message, and that message will be forwarded to the receiver in a secure channel. So at the receiver end, with the help of receiver private key, so the message will be, that means the cipher text will be converted to plain text, and he can get the actual message. So RSA is developed in 1977 by Ron Rivest, Adi Samir and Len Adelman. Okay, so the RSA scheme is a block cipher in which the plain text and the ciphertext are integers between 0 and n-1 for some n. So a typical size for n is 1024 bits or 309 decimal digits. So encryption and decryption are the following form. So for some plain text block M and ciphertext block C. Okay, so you can see the ciphertext that will be generated by using So m power e mod n, and the message will be generated by using the function that is c power d mod n. Okay, so coming to the algorithm, RSA algorithm, so we are having three modules here. So the first one is key generation and encryption and decryption. So coming to the key generation module, so first of all you have to select two prime numbers, that is p and q. Okay, so the p and q are both prime number and p not equal to q. Now you have to calculate the value of n by using n equal to p into q. That means the multiplication of the both prime numbers will be the value of n. And now you have to calculate the pi of n, that is p minus 1 into q minus 1. Now you have to select an integer e. Okay, that means the GCD of pi of n comma e equal to 1. Okay, now then you have to calculate the value of d, and now we are having the public key and private key. So here the public key is e comma n, and the private key is d comma n. So coming to the encryption, we are having a plain text, that is m. We have to convert the plain text into ciphertext with the function that is equal to c equal to m power e mod n. Okay, now coming to the decryption, so the ciphertext that is c, so that will be converted to plain text with the help of a function that is m equal to c power d mod n. So these are the three modules that are available in RSA crypto system. Okay, so you can see the diagram here. So this diagram describes how the process will be done in a RSA crypto system. So now you can see the RSA key generation algorithm and RSA encryption and decryption. So here each person or a party who decides to participate in communication using encryption needs to generate a pair of keys. That means namely public key and private key. Okay, so how to generate the RSA modules? Okay, so the initial procedure begins with the selection of two prime numbers, that is namely p and q, and then you have to calculate their product, that is n. Okay, so n equal to p into q. So for strong unbreakable encryption, let n be a large number, so typically a minimum of 512 bits. Okay, now you have to calculate the value of e, so that is a derived number. So you have to calculate, first of all you have to calculate the pi of n, that is pi of n equal to p minus 1 into q minus 1. So consider a number e, so as a derived number, so which should be greater than 1 and less than p minus 1 and q minus 1. So there must be no common factor for e and p minus 1 and q minus 1 except for 1. In other words, the two numbers, that is e and p minus 1 and q minus 1 are co-prime. Okay, so you have to choose such that e should be co-prime. Okay, so co-prime means it should not multiply by factors of pi of n and also not divided by pi of n. Okay, so coming to the public key, so the specified pair of numbers n and e forms the RSA public key and it is made public. And coming to the private key, so the private key d is calculated from p comma q and e. Okay, so for a given n and e, so there is a unique number, that is d. So the number d is the inverse of e modulus p minus 1 and q minus 1. So this means that the d is the number that is less than p minus 1 and q minus 1. So the mathematical relationship between the numbers is, so we can see ed equal to 1 into modulo of p minus 1 and q minus 1. Okay, so coming to the encryption process, so consider a sender who sends the plain text message to someone whose public key is n comma e. So to encrypt the plain text message in the given scenario, you can use the following syntax, that is c equal to p power e mod n. Okay, that means the plain text will be converted to ciphertext with this function. Okay, so coming to the decryption process is very straightforward and includes analytics for calculation in a symmetric approach. So considering a receiver C has the prime key D, so the result modulus will be calculated as P equal to C power D mod n. Okay, so the ciphertext will be converted to plain text with the function of P equal to C power D mod n. Okay, so you can see the example algorithm here. So first of all, how to select two prime numbers. So the prime numbers are P equal to 17 and Q equal to 11. Now we have to compute the product of these two prime numbers, that is n. Okay, so n equal to P into Q, that is 17 into 11, so that is equal to 187. Now you have to calculate pi of n, that is equal to P minus 1 into Q minus 1, that is 17 minus 1 into 11 minus 1. Okay, so 16 into 10, that is 160. Now we have to find out the value of E. Okay, so how the value of E will be generated? So we have to calculate the GCD of E comma n, so which is equal to 1. Okay, so the greatest common divisor of E comma 160, so which will result which is equal to 1. Okay, now the E will be 7. Okay, so now you have to determine the D, that means you have to calculate the D. So the D equal to 1 mod 160 and D less than 160. Okay, so now the value of D is 23, that means 23 you have to multiply with 7 with the 23, so you can get 161. Okay, so now the public key will be 7 comma 187 and the private key will be 23 comma 187. Now we have to perform encryption operation with the help of keys. Okay, so coming to the encryption process, so I want to forward a message that is equal to that is 88. So now I have to convert this 88 into ciphertext with the help of a function that is C equal to P power E mod n. Okay, now so you have to substitute the value here. So here the plain text is 88. So I have to substitute the value of a message that is plain text here. So 88 power. So the value of E is 7 and mod 187. Okay, so C equal to 88 power 7 mod 187. So which results the value is 11. Okay, now the ciphertext will be 11. So this ciphertext will be forwarded to receiver end. Now the receiver has to perform decryption operation with the help of a function that is P equal to C power D mod n. Okay, so now you have to convert the ciphertext into plain text, that is actual message. So that the C value is 11. So you have to substitute the value in this function. So C equal to 11. So 11 power D is 23 mod 187. Mod n means mod 187. Okay, so the plain text equal to 11 to the power of 23 mod 187. So which will result 88. So the actual message is 88. Thank you so much.